Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Minnesota Twins discussion video. Haven't done one of these in a long time, but I think this one is warranted because if you're a Twins fan like me, rep the shirt, and you've seen the title, Miguel Sano is back on the active roster today, and Gilberto Celestino was shipped back to AAA. So I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on all of it, the rundown, which I'll give you in a second. But I want to know yours. What do you guys think of this whole, bringing Miguel Sano back? What do you think of Miguel Sano? What do you think of the move? How do you think this impacts the Twins? What should we do with all of it? Let me know down in the comments. So what I'm going to cover in this video is why I think Miguel Sano is not a good fit on this team anymore for a few reasons. 2, what we should do with Miguel Sano, and 3, why I think it was dumb that they put Celestino down instead of anybody else. So first I'll start with he doesn't fit on this team anymore. I think this is a failed experiment. I think that the Twins used to be a home run hitting team, and for the most part, 2019 they hit the most home runs. For the most part, they still kind of are, but they've gotten away from that a lot, especially with a rise. Carlos Correa is a line drive hitter. Polanco has never been a home run hitter. Urshela, more line drive kind of guy. Yes, they still have power. Buxton with his speed. They still have power, but it's more gap to gap now instead of home runs. Miguel Sano is only a home run hitter, so that already has kind of taken him away from the 2018, 2019, 2020 Twins to where they are now. 2, there is nowhere to put him on the field. There is nowhere to play him anymore. And like I said, it's a failed experiment because he strikes out way too much. He shouldn't get playing time anyway. But now you've got Luis Arraez, an all-star, the best batter in the league. He plays first base, and he deserves that spot. Then you've got Jose Miranda, who I think has impressed us all, especially, the last 60 games. He struggled a lot when he came up, but he has done really well, and he deserves a spot on this roster. He plays first base too. You can't put Sano at third because he's slow, and he's hurt still. He's not 100%, or he never will be 100%, or able to play. He's 29 years old. He's never going to be able to play third base again. And the DH spot, we already have 5 other infielders, and we have 5 outfielders, plus 2 catchers. Obviously that's pretty standard, but, if Jeffers was still here and he catches, Sanchez DHs. Now that Jeffers is hurt, okay, Sanchez catches more, but then you've got Miranda DHing. If Arraez plays first and Urshela plays third, or if Urshela DHs, Miranda will play third. Of course, you've got Buxton who DHs, and you've got then outfielders spots being filled up, so Miguel Sano doesn't get to bat then either. Where do you put him? The answer is nowhere because he doesn't fit anymore. There are better guys on this team. There are younger guys on this team who earned spots, and Miguel Sano is not one of them anymore. Number 2, I don't remember what I said about it, but let's go to the Celestino piece. I do not like this trade. Oh yeah, what we're going to do with him. I'll go to that one last. So why I think Celestino was the bad choice. I don't believe Celestino should have been called down. I don't agree with that. And the reason is Celestino was a 300 hitter for most of the season. Upper 260s is where he's at right now, 268. Yeah, the OBP or OPS is a little less at 656. But let's look at Miguel Sano. I didn't even know he played this year, by the way. I thought he was gone the entire year. I thought he got injured in spring training or something. I don't remember him playing on the field this year. He played in 17 games, 54 at-bats. He has 5 hits, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, 9 walks, and 21 strikeouts. So he's already striking out over a third of the time. And his batting average, .093. His OBP, 231. His OPS, 379. His slugging was 148. That is a OPS plus of 13. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the worst number I have ever seen in an OPS spot ever. At any point of any season ever. I get that he only played in 17 games. The dude has an OPS plus of the games he played. That's awful. He doesn't belong on this team. The reason why I think Celestino does, though, is like I said, 268 batting average. Yeah, the OPS isn't necessarily as high as you probably would like, but the dude is an above average player. He has a WAR of 0.3. Yeah, that doesn't sound like much, but he's always the guy who steps up. He's got above average defense. His bat is pretty average. He doesn't hit for power like Sano does or other guys on the team do, but he's solid. He gets multi-hit games. He gets singles when you need it. At the beginning of the year, and even last year at the end of the year when Celestino was up, I thought he was awful. I didn't like him. But this year, after Buxton got hurt in Boston, he stepped up and he was one of the biggest impact players on this team, especially through that whole trial of Miranda coming up and Royce Lewis coming up and he having to be a star player in the outfield. They were good. They won a lot of games at that point in the season, early in the season, and he was a contributing factor to it. Is he the greatest player out there? Is he going to amaze you? Is he going to blow your socks off? No. But is he an above average player who deserved to be put down? I strongly disagree. And the only problem is, who do you put down instead? I think your two biggest cases are, well, if you're going to look at outfielders, because Celestino was an outfielder and they got rid of him, I think your biggest case is probably Garlick or Nick Gordon. But both of those guys have their individual talents. Nick Gordon obviously used for speed, and he's probably a little bit faster than Celestino. And you've got Garlick, who hits lefties really well, and Celestino, he's not as good as, I would say, Garlick. So those are the outfield guys. I think your biggest argument overall is probably Miranda, because Sano is very similar to Miranda. You don't need two of them. But Miranda has done so well, he needs a spot on the team. So here's what we do. I say we trade Miguel Sano. And this is entirely truthful. Like I said, I think this is a failed experiment, but I don't think it's a lost cause entirely. I just don't think it's what the Twins need. The Twins need pitching, and I'm not going to say Miguel Sano is going to be worth anything. He's not going to go out there and pull a Steven Strasburg kind of caliber player, a Jacob deGrom. He might go get a B- pitcher. Somewhat similar, I would argue, to Sonny Gray. I know Sonny Gray's probably our ace out of next to Joe Ryan, but he's not. He doesn't blow your socks off either. I would say he'd go pull a B- pitcher, but the thing is, we don't need him. Like, we have Miranda, we have Kirilloff, we have Buxton, who are power hitters. We have got contact guys like Polanco and arguably Kepler and Arise. Where does he fit in? He doesn't. Trade him for what you can get. And if that's a pitcher to at least relieve your bullpen of throwing so much, or getting an extra guy in there for the rotation, or a playoff guy, just somebody to win us one game, like, go out and make those moves with Sano. He is a wanted player to some extent. He hits the home runs. Like I said, he might hit 10 home runs this year instead of his normal 20 to 30 or whatever. He's an average player, maybe a little bit below average, but he is worth something because of the way the game is played. And I think they would be able to get something for him. If not, go out and trade Celestino, because you're wasting his talent. Again, is he the best player in the world? No, he's probably not. He's I think, better than a Jake Cave, and we kept Cave around forever. And, now he's in the minors or whatever. He's kind of floating. He doesn't make it back to the majors. But Celestino is, like I said, an above average player who deserves a spot on a major league roster. Go trade him and pick up your pitcher. If you're that invested in Miguel Sano, which makes me upset, but if you're that invested in Miguel Sano and you say, yep, we need to pay him his $10 million or whatever he's worth, like, go out and trade your guy who you can actually get something for. Because if you're just holding on to Celestino and you put him in AAA until playoff time, you're wasting him. Like, go out and get something for him. You're going to get, again, you're probably not going to get the best for him. Maybe a B pitcher. Go sell him. Go trade him. Make something happen instead of sitting on your hands waiting for Miguel Sano to strike out 35 more times in the next 10 games. Because that's pretty much what he will do. So, like I said, I'm pretty upset about it. I think it's dumb that Celestino is the one cut, but there's nobody else. Like, the Twins have a pretty decent team. Are they a playoff winning team? Probably not. But I tell you, they're going to be a lot worse with Miguel Sano on the team. Does he make the team better? That's the question we should be asking ourselves, and I say the answer is maybe by 0.1 degree, and I don't think it was worth getting rid of Celestino for it. So that is my spiel. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. We'll see how he does. I might eat a sock if he does really well and impresses me, but like from his history, he'll impress you with the long home runs, but he won't impress you with the batting average. He won't impress you with the game winners or the clutch moments. He's a spot on the roster because we've invested so much into him. So that's what I got. Let me know your thoughts. We'll see you tomorrow.